everyone. I'm trying to be really vulnerable with this video here. And I also thought that my channel wouldn't be political, and this might not become a political video, but I think I'm just gonna speak off the cuff while I'm making an apple cake. So I'm titling this video, What's American as Apple Pie? What does it even mean? American as apple pie. I'm making an apple cake. So in Germany, there's no pie. In Germany, there is only apple cake. Pie is usually meat filled, for instance. So anyway, I thought I'd just free flow this video here a bit while I make my German apple cake and talk about America as a whole, how it is right now, what moves me right now as a German living in America, in Alaska. And for those who don't know me yet, my name is Debbie, and I live in Alaska for almost 25 years now. Alaska is the 49th US state, for those that don't know. Some people don't know. And yeah, I'm really, really concerned about where America is going with this administration. To view the president of Ukraine sitting with the president of the US, including vice president, in the Oval Office, and I mean staging this takedown of not just Zelensky, but what it really means for the US and what it will mean for Europe, what it will mean for the world, the way the US is behaving here right now. Now, I talked to a couple of friends. I really do think there's an awakening in America. The people are waking up finally to seeing what's going on with this administration. This is criminal what they're doing. There's nothing friendly about them. They're robbing us of all the little securities we have in the United States. I mean, it's already not perfect. No country is perfect, but boy, do we have some problems in America. And the propaganda here works really well. That word propaganda is always used in terms of German propaganda, during World War II. But propaganda is simply a word, and propaganda is most definitely happening here in the United States. Here you're being told America is the best country on earth. America has the best healthcare. America has the best doctors. America is the best at everything. Well, that's not true. As every American can tell you. Every American who has ever dealt with the healthcare system here, or I should say with the health insurance system here, knows how corrupt it is. How many cases are being denied and how much money you actually pay for health on an annual basis every year. And how it can cost you everything. I mean, you can lose your house over it. And yes, we have the Affordable Healthcare Act now, the so-called Obamacare, which is great. As I'm going through divorce right now, I'm going to be looking at hopefully getting in and hopefully being able to afford a plan. I don't know that yet, how much I'm going to pay. I'm a little bit frightened about that. Am I making too much money? Am I not making enough money because there's some weird bracket that you need to be in? I don't know. I don't even know yet. But see, those conversations you wouldn't have in a country like Germany, where healthcare is a right. Everybody has healthcare. Well, here you don't. Propaganda here is America is the best, America is the best. I need to focus on my recipe here. I made this apple cake hundreds of times. This recipe was actually given to me by my almost grandmother-in-law, super nice person, Oma Castigen. And I sat in the kitchen with her, and she was making all these apple cakes, okay, in spring forms, and then she would freeze the cakes. She'd make, many, many cakes all at once. And this is because they had these super tiny tart apples. They had a ton of apple trees on their property. And, what do you do with them, right? So this recipe works really well with apples that are a little bit sour or tart, like a sweet sour. Here in America, I use Fuji. I don't know what apple they had exactly. All I know was that when you pick the apples from the apple tree, they actually didn't taste so good. But in the cake, perfect. So I wrote down that recipe in her kitchen as I sat there with her. I said, oh, can I write down the recipe? And she says, sure, grab a piece of paper out of my telephone book. And so I did. And guess what? You can't even, I don't know if you can see this, but this is the paper. I still have it. And it's so smudged now that you can't even, you can't even see what it says, but I made it so often that in fact, I don't even need to really look at the recipe. I since transferred it to my 3-generation cookbook, and 3 generations, or maybe 4 even. There's some really cool handwriting in here too. Look at this, right? Isn't that neat? That's Süttersche. It's not Latin. That looks pretty cool, that handwriting, right? Anyway, so there's at least 4 people in this book that wrote down their recipes, falling apart a bit. And I added mine, and my handwriting isn't as nice, but it's in here. And it's so funny, you see most of the recipes in here, they are actually sweets, baked goods. Tells you a little bit about what we like to do as a family, right? Generational wise. But yeah, apple cake is what it's called, not apple pie, and it's made in a spring form, like this one here. And so I buttered it, first step. Now I'm gonna make the dough. And that's also quite easy. But yeah, the question here is, what is American as apple pie? I tell you what's American as apple pie. All of us. It doesn't matter who you are here in America, wherever you come from, we are all American as apple pie. Because guess what? You can put any kind of apple into a recipe and it'll come out great. It's the mixture that makes it great. And that makes America great. The mixture. I'm so sick and tired of these people who are unhappy, upset about, people of different cultures coming to America. We are made of people coming from all walks of life. That is exactly what I love about America. I love that about America. So, can you tell I'm hardly measuring? I've made this recipe so often, I don't even need to measure anymore. I kind of know. I'm gonna put the recipe in the comments and let me know how it turns out at home, all right? I like to add cinnamon, I love cinnamon. But yeah, making your apple cake or your apple pie, again, the ingredients make it, the mixture. America is a really cool country. I really don't want to leave it, but with this administration, I have to say it has crossed my mind. It has crossed my mind to leave. And I have felt this obviously already the first time that Trump was elected. The first time we experienced such chaos. Because that's how it feels when you're here. And now Europe is also experiencing this chaos after, I mean, with America basically saying, screw you, don't care that you have a war at your doorstep. I just don't understand where the people of this administration have lost their heart. There's no empathy. And that's the cultural difference too, by the way. Living here, coming from Germany and living here, the cultural difference is for sure that we don't really have a culture that takes care of each other. I mean, we do here in America privately, but the country itself, the government, does not. It just doesn't take care of its people. Not enough. We're constantly being told, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Americans are the most hardworking people I've ever met. They really are. So many people here have more than one job just to pay rent, just to afford living somehow. And then they also, of course, have to rely on Medicaid funded programs, heating assistance, food stamps. We're not taking care of our people here. We're just not. And yet we are constantly being told America's the best. America's the best. What a bunch of bullshit. Don't believe it. Go to a different country. Pick one. Most countries have a better system than this. A lot of countries also have a better healthcare than this. Yeah, the service is awesome here. It really is. We just experienced health care in Utah for my son who had cancer in 2023. It was an awful year. But yeah, being in the hospital there and all that, it's everybody's nice. The nurses are nice. You really feel taken care of. But of course you end up with huge deductible bills. And now we have to pay these huge deductible bills every year because guess what? 10 years of MRIs to make sure that if cancer comes back, we will recognize this early enough so that we can do something about it immediately. Well, this monitoring, it's costly, obviously. Of course we're going to do it. But every year, this now means by the time March, April arrives, we already have paid the full deductible. There's no way to get ahead in this country anymore. The cost of living here is now higher than in, I want to say, almost all of the European countries. I mean, again, it depends on where exactly you live. Oh, there's always exceptions. I mean, I live a simple lifestyle here. The cost is high, but I save on other things. I don't really buy clothing. I don't have my nails done. I don't get a haircut. Can you tell? I cut my own hair. That's why I have long hair now. I used to have a short haircut. I just couldn't afford it anymore. So I have long hair now. I'm letting it grow out and I'm cutting it myself. I don't have a facial. I don't have Botox. I don't buy mascara. I mean, yeah, I could look better, I guess. But I just don't have the budget for these things. It's going far away from apple cake, doesn't it? But this is kind of a free flow video, and you can hear me rambling while I'm making the crust for the cake. You gotta be patient with this one. Mix it well, make it crumbly. I know how it feels when it's just right. And isn't that funny, that analogy? I know how it feels when it's just right. And I feel for several years now in this country that things are off for me personally. And this probably has to do also with half of my life I was in Germany. Half of my life I am here. And I love living here. There's so many good things about America and, well, I should say about the people. I love the people here. Maybe it's also I love the people of Alaska. Even though, yeah, there are also some real freaky guys here where you're wondering what rock they climbed out from under. But, you know, we have all sorts of people. Doesn't matter where we live on Earth. But what I'm missing, what I really miss, I miss stability. I have to say, I mean, since the Bush years already, to be honest, the country is just so freaking weird. Things are being dismantled. I mean, they have done this through the back door. They've worked on making this a more, you know, they want this religious agenda coming through and forcing it on people in schools. And not everybody has to live that. I mean, the last time I checked, we have religious freedom. Do we? I'm not so sure anymore. Because these values are now being pushed upon people. That's the least of our problems, actually. But what they're really doing now is they're dismantling the good things about America. All right, well, let's get this into the spring form. It's so sad to see that the good things about America are being destroyed within, I mean, the last 50 years already. The setup has started 50 years ago. But what we're seeing in just the last 5 weeks, they, meaning a few people, are dismantling the good things that make America work. And we're still so far away from the things that most European countries have as a general setup. You know, healthcare maybe, or a government pension, or unions, or rights to not get kicked out of your apartment within a couple days. There's just no rights here whatsoever. You have no rights here. People don't even understand how little we get from our taxes. The biggest problem here is that the richest, the wealthiest people that live here, they don't pay their fair share of taxes. And then also that these taxes are not being used to create universal health care. And I think what these politicians have all failed to say, including Bernie Sanders, who I love Bernie Sanders. He's saying it better now, but in the beginning when he was campaigning, he also didn't say it the right way. He should have always added, tax the rich and you will get all these services. And that's what he forgot to add. He should have added, and you will end up with more money in your wallet. Everybody will end up with more money in their wallets. Right now, the cost of living in the United States is higher than any European country, I think, except Ireland. I think Ireland is more expensive. And that might also be, you know, pockets of Ireland that are more, like Dublin is super expensive, but the countryside, there might be places where it's a little bit better. But anyway, this is based on my research, because guess what? I'm not sure if I want to stay here. Let me rephrase it. I want to stay here. But I am not sure if I can stay here. Can I even afford it? Why do these thoughts come up? Well, I'm going through divorce right now. I don't know exactly how that outcome will look like, right? There's always the separation of assets. How will that look like? Well, I don't have such big earning potential. I just don't. I'm an outdated graphic designer in a way. You know, I wouldn't be hired at an advertising agency anymore. I'm too old. It's just what it is. Graphic designers, they don't last very long in agencies, generally speaking. They come out of college and they start working, you know, maybe 10 years in. I mean, if you're lucky, you move on and you'll be the creative director. And then that time's over. And then what's your choice? You become a freelancer. Or you switch trades. I'm lucky. I still work as a graphic designer for this amazing company of the best boss ever. Shout out to my travel stickers. Honestly, best boss ever. It's not even my boss, but I call him my boss because this is my only income source at the moment. Aside from, I have an Airbnb cabin on my property. Great view, by the way, that you get here when you stay. But that's just barely paying for the fuel costs and my house insurance and the extra insurance the Airbnb requires me to have. So yeah, it makes me think about, why should I stay if it's so hard? And I know a lot of Americans are now thinking, gee, you know, why not go to Portugal, you know, Spain, Italy, countries that make it relatively easy even for Americans to come and move to. And I mean, of course, I can't just leave because I have 2 kids. My daughter is now graduating from high school. And that means she's going to move out and she wants to do the schoolie life and live in our school bus for a year and a half on the road. And I think that's awesome. She should be doing that and enjoy a little bit of freedom before, you know, adulting takes over your life. But I can totally see how new generations feel quite hopeless about their future. I feel hopeless about my future because how am I going to pay for everything? If I lose my job, this job, I certainly won't be working as a graphic designer. That would be such a stroke of luck to find anything like this again. I hope it will continue for a while longer. But my boss is a little bit older than me, so I'm not sure. I don't know. There's obviously no guarantees anywhere if you're going to keep your job or not. But I'm trying to do a good job. I think I'm doing a good job. I'm being praised for my work. I really love working for this company. I hope it stays. But yeah, with the divorce, it kind of makes me think about my life. I mean, this might be the chance to make a big change. I don't know. I know I don't have enough saved for retirement. Even selling the house won't add enough. You're supposed to have $1 million saved. I mean, who has $1 million saved? I don't know anybody who has $1 million saved. It's ridiculous. I don't know. This divorce might bring me down financially. I don't know. I just don't know. So I'm trying to think outside of the box sometimes. Like what ifs, right? What if I were to move someplace? Where would that even be? I'm horribly spoiled here with this setting where we are. This beautiful piece of property. This beautiful piece of property. I mean, I have a view of the Alaska range. I see Denali from my home. Not today, but I mean, I can make my apple cake here and I see 180 degrees of a view. Wow. There's no neighbor in sight. I don't see any neighbors. Where do you have that? And we still have clean air and good water. The only thing we have to fight with here is I always fear for my property to burn down. Every summer there is wildfire danger. It's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse. Which again, then you think, maybe I should move to the desert, right? Where are the cheap countries to live? Do I want to be there? Do I want to move to Bali or I don't know where, Chile or Argentina? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm made for those climates either, though, I mean, Argentina and Chile have some mountain climates too. But I mean, like Costa Rica, for instance, I mean, I'd probably have to go inland to make that work, climate-wise. And I don't speak Spanish. That's another thing. You know, it took me so long to truly understand the American language, the American sayings, the sing-song of the American English. I understand everything now. I can read all the books, I can read all the articles. There's a word here and there that I have to look up. I bet a lot of Americans have to look up those words as well. Just saying. I can proofread a text and make it sound better without AI. I'm still that generation. Makes me think a bit about, do I need to make a big change the moment my son graduates from high school? That's 2028. I mean, obviously I can't do any big changes until he's ready because I'm not going to leave him. I can't just leave him. And I also want to be close to my kids. Who knows where they're going to end up? So sometimes I have these thoughts, maybe I should be a world traveler. Because I love to travel and we kind of stopped traveling because my husband and I weren't getting along so well. And also, my husband never really took time off. That's an American thing, you know, the dedication to work is really high priority for most. And while that is admired in America, well, I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with, you take time for vacations. And he has 3 weeks of paid vacations. So I don't quite understand why. I think he just simply doesn't have the travel bug like I do. I love traveling, but I haven't really traveled enough. So there's this huge desire for me to break away and see the world. And it makes me think sometimes with my job, I could be doing this. I can work from anywhere in the world. But it's also frightening, of course, because I don't really want to lose my home or a home. I need a base. Where's that base going to be, right? I'm not sure. Where's the base going to be? Is the base going to be in Germany? Probably not. Rents are pretty high there. I also think I don't really fit into Germany anymore, which kind of brings me back to my German apple cake here. And the American pie analogy. I like Americans. I like US citizens. I love the diversity here. I think this is exactly what makes us so cool. Americans are funner. Americans are looser. They have there's some about Americans. They're funner. Germans are not fun. I mean, yeah, they're fun. Sorry about the Germans here. I am German. I can joke about this. I can say it. I can make fun of myself. Obviously, as you know, as a German American, I'm only a half and half. I'm not a real German and I'm not a real American. But yeah, it's I love America. I really love some of the feeling of freedom that you have here. Or here on my property too. I mean, there are few rules. I want to build a shed, I'll build a shed. I need to have a permit for that. I mean, that's a freedom. I know that's not everywhere in America, of course not. But where I live, there is a lot of freedom. I can pretty much do anything I like. And of course, I'm mindful, towards my neighbors and towards the environment. I'm not gonna, do anything forbidden. Anyway, sometimes I think about leaving the United States, and I have been thinking this since 2016. I have thought which country would suit me, which one would even be a place that I could even live. Scandinavia comes to mind, but again, Scandinavia also a bit more expensive, and moving costs money. It's a lot of money to move. I probably would sell everything and then make myself very, 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 very small. Or maybe I'll do the travel life. Maybe I should be riding my motorbike around the world. And that sounds freaking exciting and yet so scary because I'm turning 54. I'm wondering if I might be too old for this. I don't know how to change a tire on the motorbike. I would need help. I don't know how to repair anything. And I luckily bought a motorbike that is fairly easy to repair. For those that know how to repair a motorbike, I don't know. So I would rely on a lot of people. But yeah, these thoughts come to mind. These thoughts come to mind where I'm picturing myself, and I get really giddy about it too. I'm picturing myself on a motorbike riding the Pan America Highway. Am I crazy? I don't know. Maybe I should just attempt it. Maybe this is my time soon. After divorce and after the kids are gone, maybe I should just go. I'll strap my laptop to the computer and I'll drive half a day, find a place to sit, get myself some mobile hotspot data and work the rest of the half day. And see the world. Possible? I'm just always worried about the what ifs, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that. What if I get hurt? Where can I even recover? I don't have a home to return to then. But on the other hand, isn't there always a solution somehow? Is there an insurance that would take care of me? Would my German family take me in? I would hope so. I don't know. Tricky. But I need to spice up my life. I know that. It's been too stagnant here. I love Alaska in so many ways, and yet it has also shown me how fudging tough it is to live here. Not just Alaska as the state to live in, that's tough sometimes. Weather, people, the extra challenges that I have living off grid definitely comes with its set of challenges. I need to find myself again. And I have some work to do. I have to look deep inside my soul to find the, I don't want to say the old Debbie, because the old Debbie is gone. I need to find what ticks me, what makes me happy, what brings me joy. I didn't even know that anymore. I've been serving people. I've been taking care of everyone but myself. And that's the plight of all of us women in our 50s. You know, like I said, I'm turning 54 this year. I want to taste life again. I need to first find my own joys and vision before I'm even able to think about anybody that I would invite back in my life. And that even includes friends. I will only invite people into my life from now on that feel good. I don't want to make compromises anymore. And again, I know I'm not the only woman who feels this way after raising kids, plus a man you have to also take care of, and elderly parents I had to take care of and see them die. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I need at minimum a really, really long vacation because I haven't had that either. I haven't even had a vacation. I was told that taking a vacation all by myself is selfish. No, it's not. It makes me come back to this place with energy so I can keep taking care of everybody. That's all in the past. Now, almost in the past. I hope that I will be positively thinking about the future. I'm not sure if this future will be in America, even though I feel I've completely integrated myself here. I know how this world works. I know how the United States works. And it's so funny how we often stay in these places even though they're not serving us anymore. This goes for friendships, that goes for marriage, this goes for where you live. We are all used to our upbringing or where we integrated ourselves, and then it is so tough to make a change. That's why we stay way too long in marriages that are dysfunctional. We stay way too long in friendships that don't serve us anymore, that are simply hurtful. We're enduring so much. And I'm not promoting giving up quickly, really. I believe that, I mean, honestly, I wanted to be married forever. That's what my intent was. But, well, I also need someone who fights for me. And if that's not there, then you don't need to keep asking. This is a fun part too. We're gonna make a crumble. So you need a little bit of flour. Oops, might be a little bit too much. It's all right. A little bit of starch. Kind of like that. Some sugar. And cold butter. Ooh, I hope this one's still cold enough. I let it sit on the countertop a bit too long, maybe. That's all right. Yeah, might work. That's not enough. I'm kind of guessing. I hope I get the recipe right when I post this in the comments. But you can see how easy this is to make, right? I mean, there's just very few ingredients and it tastes so good because it's like you quarter the apples. So you don't make them into tiny pieces. You don't slice them up into tiny pieces, but you just quarter them. And then they taste like baked apple. So good. Very good. I put too much flour in here. So I need more butter than I intended originally. And it needs some more sugar too. Yeah, I'm disappointed in America. I am. It breaks my heart because to me, since 2016, with the start of me thinking about going someplace, eventually leaving Alaska, leaving the United States, it feels like 1,000 goodbyes. Like sometimes I'm stopping and I'm really looking at the view or details in the house here, the logs, every log has been lovingly sanded down and brought back to life that way, and verithaned. All the work that went into this place to make it beautiful. And just the lifestyle here in general. There's a community that knows me now. I mean, it's not that I made a lot of friends. I don't even know why. I mean, today I met with someone and it was beautiful. We sat and talked about the current state of the United States and the fears we both have for the future, our future and our children's future. What does this mean for America? That felt good to have that exchange. And I know I have a community here. If I would lose my house due to a wildfire, I guarantee there would be someone who would say, come stay with me. I would feel that the community would rally around me. And moving to a new place, I wouldn't have anybody. And that's the tough part about moving to a foreign country. I already did that. I already moved here. I already started at zero. I'm not sure if I want to do it again. But I'm pretty lonely here too. That's the truth. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little overwhelmed by divorce, my daughter graduating, and then my son, and then it'll be an empty house. And even the Airbnb guests, they're not like they used to be. I've been doing lodging business since 2005. And in those times, you would have a website or an advertisement in the visitor guides. And then people would show up and they would actually talk to you. But now, Airbnb guests, they are anonymous. They come in here and they don't even talk. It's a little odd. I always try to have a conversation and say, welcome. Let me know if you need anything. I'm here to help. But they only talk through the app. They only communicate through the app. All right. I mean, whatever the guest wants. It's just odd. It's just such a disconnect with people now. I don't quite understand why the world is so anonymous now. Well, that's beautiful. Look at that. I need to start the oven. The recipe asks for, what does it say? It says, I translated it, 175 degrees Celsius, that's 350 degrees Fahrenheit. 350 for about 1.5 hours. But again, every stove is different. That's the thing you have to find out with your stove. I mean, you can set it to 375 too, but the I mean, it depends a bit on the apples too. Like if you have super soft apples, then you can, it probably bakes a bit quicker. But if you have super tart, sour, hard apples, then you need to give it a little bit more time. You'll know, it's the outside crust, if that turns too dark, that's probably time to take it out. But yeah, what a beautiful cake. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I know this was a pretty raw and personal video, and I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to my thoughts and feelings. I hope this will be a positive awakening for the US. This is the time to speak up and fight for a functioning democracy with services that improve the life of all Americans. Keep writing to your representatives to voice your concerns. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos about my slow down for adventure journey. And if you want to engage, please comment below. Until next time, take care.